Jubilant Sykes, born 1954 and died on December 8, 2025, lived a life shaped by music, discipline, faith, and an unshakable devotion to the power of the human voice. An American baritone of rare depth and warmth, Sykes stood at the crossroads of opera, jazz, theater, and film, carrying each genre with dignity and soul. His passing at the age of 71 stunned the artistic world, leaving behind not only unanswered questions, but also an enduring echo of a voice that once filled the grandest halls on earth. A voice born in Los Angeles. Raised in Los Angeles, Jubilant Sykes grew up surrounded by the layered sounds of the city, church hymns, neighborhood rhythms, and the distant promise of concert halls. Music entered his life early, almost naturally. As a child, he sang soprano, astonishing listeners with a purity and control far beyond his years. Even then, there was something unmistakable about his sound, a sincerity that reached past technique and straight into the heart. A pivotal moment arrived during his school years when a grade 6 summer school teacher noticed his gift. Instead of letting that spark fade, the teacher brought young Jubilant to a concert. That experience changed everything. Hearing classical music performed live awakened something profound within him, setting the course for a lifetime devoted to vocal artistry. From that moment forward, music was no longer simply something he enjoyed. It became his calling, education, and artistic formation. After completing high school, Sykes pursued formal training at California State University, Fullerton. There, he earned his bachelor's degree in music, refining his technique while discovering the emotional discipline required of a classical singer. He studied not just how to sing, but how to communicate feeling, history, and humanity through sound. His baritone voice matured into an instrument of remarkable richness, strong, resonant, and deeply expressive. As his range expanded, so did his opportunities. It became clear that Sykes was not destined to remain within a single musical lane. Instead, he would move fluidly between classical repertoire, jazz interpretation, musical theater, and dramatic performance. A career that crossed continents. Over the course of his career, Jubilant Sykes performed on some of the most prestigious stages in the world. His voice graced the Metropolitan Opera, Carnegie Hall, the Kennedy Center, Deutsche Oper Berlin, London's Barbican Center, the Apollo Theater, the Hollywood Bowl, and the New Orleans Jazz Festival, among countless others. Each venue carried its own history, yet Sykes met them all with humility and reverence, allowing the music to lead. He also collaborated with distinguished artists, including renowned guitarist Christopher Parkening, proving his versatility and willingness to explore musical dialogue beyond traditional boundaries. Whether standing before a symphony orchestra or a jazz ensemble, Sykes brought the same emotional honesty to every performance. A Grammy-nominated milestone. One of the defining moments of his recording career came in 2009, when Sykes performed the role of the celebrant in Leonard Bernstein's Massachusetts. The recording, conducted by Marin Alsop and featuring the Morgan State University Choir alongside the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, earned a Grammy nomination. Released by Naxos Records, the project showcased Sykes at the height of his interpretive power. His performance carried spiritual gravity and human vulnerability, embodying the conflict and hope at the heart of Bernstein's work. For many listeners, this recording became a lasting testament to Sykes' ability to bridge faith, doubt, and redemption through song. Beyond the concert stage, Sykes' artistry extended well beyond opera houses. He embraced acting with equal passion, bringing historical figures and fictional characters to life on stage and screen. He made his film debut portraying Ozias, an African slave, in the movie Freedom, delivering a performance marked by emotional depth and quiet strength. In theater, he took on the lead role in Breath and Imagination, Daniel Beatty's play about pioneering tenor Roland Hayes, performed at Hartford Stage. In New York, he appeared at New York City Center as Pompey in Bloomer Girl and as Henry Richard Lee in the musical 1776. Each role reflected his interest in stories that carried cultural weight and historical meaning. Even late in his career, he continued to look forward, preparing to appear in the suspense thriller Finn. A life rooted in family and faith. Despite his international acclaim, Jubilant Sykes remained deeply grounded in his personal life. He shared his world with his wife, Cecilia Sykes, and together they raised 3 sons, Madison, Morgan, and Micah. Family mattered to him profoundly, even as the demands of performance often required long periods away from home. Sykes was African American by heritage and practiced the Christian faith, which shaped both his worldview and his approach to music. His spiritual beliefs were not loud or performative. Rather, they lived quietly within his work, surfacing through the reverence and sincerity with which he approached sacred and secular music alike. Physical presence and personal details. At the time of his passing in 2025, Sykes was 71 years old. He stood approximately 6 feet tall and weighed around 190 pounds. Bald-headed, with dark brown eyes, his appearance carried a calm authority that mirrored his voice. His presence, on stage or in conversation, was dignified, thoughtful, and gently commanding. Financially, years of dedication and success brought him stability. His estimated net worth was approximately $3 million, reflecting a career built steadily through performance, recording, and acting rather than fleeting fame. A tragic and shocking end. On the evening of December 8, 2025, the music fell silent. At around 9:20 p.m., police were called to the Sykes family home on Delaware Avenue in Santa Monica after Cecilia Sykes reported a violent incident. Officers arrived to find Jubilant Sykes critically injured, suffering from apparent stab wounds. The Santa Monica Fire Department pronounced him dead at the scene. The tragedy deepened when his son, Micah Sykes, then 31 years old, was taken into custody and charged in connection with his father's death. Reports suggested a confrontation had occurred between father and son, though the precise motive remained unclear. Neighbors later shared that Jubilant had previously expressed concern about Micah's mental health, hinting at struggles that may have gone unseen by the wider world. The news sent shockwaves through the music community and beyond. The loss was devastating not only because of the violence involved, but because it came at the hands of someone he loved. What should have been the quiet years of reflection and mentorship instead ended in heartbreak. A legacy that still sings. Though Jubilant Sykes' life ended abruptly and painfully, his legacy remains luminous. His recordings continue to resonate, his performances live on in memory, and his influence persists in the countless listeners he moved. He was not merely a singer with technical mastery. He was a storyteller, a bridge between tradition and innovation, and a vessel for human emotion. Jubilant Sykes sang with courage, tenderness, and truth. Even in death, his voice has not been silenced. It endures in concert halls, classrooms, recordings, and hearts, softly reminding the world of what it means to live a life devoted to art, faith, and feeling.